Alright, step 1 for anybody that just wants to watch 20 seconds. Curious about Meet Kevin's YouTube course? You need to keep watching. If you want to know what's in it, what makes it different, what are some of his secret tricks that allow him to make videos faster than just about anybody else on YouTube, it's not a fluke. If you're going to watch 20 seconds, this is about that moment. Let me break down his course for you. There is a ton of information on YouTube about making videos, but unfortunately, the most important point is missing. There are hundreds of hours of videos on how to set up camera gear, write a script, adjust lighting, or make thumbnails. The most important point is about how to get started fast and keep churning out those videos without wasting hours doing things that don't add value. I'll explain in a moment what that means, but first let me answer the question that's probably at the top of your mind. Why did I take the course? My interest is marketing and advertising, specifically e-commerce. I don't vlog, I don't do product reviews, I don't do prank videos. I'm also not an affiliate for his product, and I bought it in the pre-sale before release. I actually sell real manufactured products. My opinion is that most video training is about as interesting as watching a sock puppet. The other reason is that he practiced what he preaches. If you look at his subscribers, videos, and revenue, plus the way he creates content, you can see that after 769,000 subscribers, 903 videos, and 127 million views on the subject of real estate, finance, and now YouTube training, he's actually walking the walk. It's not all talk. So he must be doing something right. And for someone like me who's selling real products that needs to demonstrate these products, learning how to make better videos is the difference between closing a deal and having someone go away to think about it. So let me talk a little bit about what's actually in the course, the thing that you're probably most interested in. For somebody that's a beginner, he starts off with baby steps. He has what I'd call a quick start guide. And it's essential if you're on the fence that you've been somewhat sitting watching other people make videos and you think to yourself, I could probably do something like that, but I'm a little bit worried that mine is not going to be very good. And what he suggests is you actually start by doing one because he knows that the first time you create a video, it can only get better after that. The topics he talks about include equipment, lighting, sound, the things that you'd expect, and also set design. And as a beginner, these are things you probably need to know, but very quickly, he moves into much more advanced topics. In fact, his advanced topics are at a level that one would consider professional studio equipment. And he makes it very clear that you don't need this equipment, but that it's there if you decide to go to the next level. So really he's describing what would be beginner, intermediate, and more money and time than you probably need at this point or for most people in the future. But he's taken it to that level, and he could show you some of the equipment he uses in the studio setup that he uses. But that doesn't take away anything from what you can do as a beginner using some very basic equipment. I want to turn now to the topic that actually was the most useful to me, because remember, a lot of the stuff to do with equipment and lighting, sound, and so on, you could probably find on YouTube if you went looking for it. I mean, even though he takes it to a whole nother level, you will find a lot of that stuff around, except he's actually showing how he uses it, which makes it really useful. In other words, he's connecting the dots. So the topics that really take it to another level for me is editing. And here what he does is he shows how he actually spends less time editing than creating content, which is absolutely unbelievable. I will call this section gold. He calls it the 5-minute edit. And I won't give anything away in terms of exactly how he does it, but let's just say he's writing notes about the content as he's creating it, so he knows when to go back and make changes or edit to it so that he doesn't have to go through all of the content in one sitting. In fact, he can edit it at twice the normal playback speed, which is remarkable if you think about it. He also has a lot of information about the YouTube algorithm and creating the actual content of the video itself, because what most people do, and this is where you will find a lot of videos that have less than 100 views, what they do is they ramble on. So they'll start talking about something, but they don't actually have a structure to it. And his approach to creating content, I'm going to show in a moment on the screen how I put together this video, but what he does is he actually creates a mind map. He actually creates an outline, which is really useful. In fact, I've never seen it done this way, and I actually like this approach. And I really wish he would spend more time talking about this approach. I actually sort of gleaned it from a couple of other videos that he did where he talked about the editing and he showed how he created the content. But in looking at the algorithm of YouTube and the way he creates content, he has an idea which he calls the Trojan horse. And the Trojan horse is a way of getting views quickly so that you can get monetized and you can jump on the bandwagon without actually being clickbait. So if you're looking to create videos and not be someone who has a lot of videos with less than 100 views, this is absolute gold. You really want to see how he does this. He does everything from, picking the topic and figuring out what you should be talking about, coming up with new ideas, and then creating that content very, very quickly so that you're never wondering what you're going to be saying next. He has a section in it about treating YouTube as a business and some of the issues associated with insurance and taxation, fair use, and so on. And I'm sure there's probably people that specialize in these topics, but at least he gets you started, and that's really, really important. Okay, so the question that I asked myself was, did I enjoy the course? And the answer is yes. There are parts I like and there are parts I didn't like, and I'm going to explain what I mean by that. And this is just my opinion, so you may find things very different when you go through the course, assuming you decide to take the course. Let's see. There's sometimes no easy way to figure out which bits are for beginners and which bits are for advanced other than maybe budgetary requirements. So for example, he very quickly moves from using basic equipment to complicated equipment, or using certain types of lighting, audio, so on. And what would be really helpful is some sort of cheat guide that would tell you, if you're a beginner, these topics, maybe numbered, are best for you to start with, and maybe if you're already quite experienced, maybe these topics are the ones you should go for. So some way of navigating through the content, because there's a lot of content and you really want to know, where you want to be spending your time. The other issue, and again, this is easily solved, going back to that point about knowing which bits to do when, is that sometimes topics are introduced out of sequence. So there seems to be a reference to having a Trojan horse, and then it's not clear what that is, but there's some talk about it, and so you're kind of scratching your head going, what does that mean? And then later on it's explained, you go, oh, okay, so this particular point connects with that particular point. So I'm just suggesting maybe it was done very quickly, and so maybe some of the points are out of sequence because it was filmed in maybe a different order, but the content is all there. It's just that sometimes it's a little bit out of order. I will say there's an amazing level of detail, and I think anybody from a beginner to someone very experienced will get a lot out of it. Specifically the things to do with the algorithm about YouTube and also the editing. I think those two easily pay for the course and save time. And then finally, did the course improve my knowledge? I think there's a definite yes, absolutely. I've seen other courses on the subject of making videos, and this is definitely at that very high level. I think for the price, it's a really good deal. I'm not an affiliate, so if you can afford it and this is something you're interested in doing, it's definitely worth doing. And the last question, of course, is can you get all this information for free? Sure, if you're willing to do lots of testing and spend years of your life trying to figure it out and be very analytical. I prefer to take the shortcut. Again, like I said, I'm not looking to become a vlogger. I'm not looking to do anything to get lots and lots of views or advertising revenue. My goal is to create product demonstration videos for my products that we manufacture. But if you're looking to create video, even if it's outside of the traditional YouTube area, then you won't go wrong with this course, and I think you will get a lot out of it. And the other thing I want to say is that, this review is an honest review based on my opinion. I'm not trying to persuade anybody to either get the training or not get the training, but I just wanted to share with people what I found, and hopefully that's useful to you. And I'm not trying to build a subscriber base using Kevin's name. I just thought maybe you'd find it useful. Anyway, if you decide to go ahead, I'd be curious to see what you think in the comments below. Take care.